Look, I'm not a big sports guy, okay? If you came up to me and started going, ooh, the big games on Sunday, the big games on Sunday, who are you rooting for? I wouldn't be able to tell you because I wouldn't even know who's playing. Heck, I wouldn't even know what sport is being played in this big game of yours. You could be referring to basketball, baseball, soccer, hockey. How am I supposed to know? The big game on Sunday. Oh, it's the Super Bowl. It says here it's going to be between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots. Wait a minute. There's a New England? Huh, I wonder if they still call it football. So yeah, I was never really that into sports, but I was part of a sports team back in high school. I was on the tennis team, and you know what? We were one of the best freaking teams in our entire school. Like, we probably won over 90% of our games against other schools. But you wanna know what sucked? No one in our school cared. Seriously, not a single person ever came to watch any of our matches. You see, tennis isn't really a popular sport. It doesn't have the same kind of cultural hype that football, basketball, and soccer do. Obviously, people would much rather watch teenagers slamming into each other rather than them just hitting a ball back and forth, but I mean, it's fine. Less people watching meant less pressure on us, which is probably why we won so often. Nah, we were just that good. So okay, the majority of the guys on our team were huge nerds. And not just regular nerds, we were weeaboo nerds. We watched a lot of anime. And back in the day, there was this one anime that every weeaboo tennis player had to have watched. Prince of Tennis. In the anime, all of the characters played tennis, obviously, and they would always do these super over-the-top special moves to defeat their opponents. Kind of like this. I remember one of the characters in the show was ambidextrous, meaning he was able to hold his racket with either one of his hands. And one of the guys on our team would always do that. But the thing is, he wasn't ambidextrous. And that was literally the one thing everyone on the team knew not to do because all it did was mess up your form. But he didn't care, and he just kept on doing it. Huh, I wonder what he's up to. Oh wow, he's engaged now. Man, this guy's getting married and here I am, making a YouTube video.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
A lot of the time, the guys on the team would get pretty bored because our coach was always late, so being the young lads that we were, we had a couple of interesting ways to pass the time. There was this game we used to play called Hot Bench. Basically, on the super hot days where the sun just made everything a hot potato, we would take our hands and place them on the hot metal benches to see who could last the longest. And when the benches weren't hot enough to play Hot Bench, we would play a different game called Ice Bucket. It was basically the same as Hot Bench. You'd think that since we actually needed our hands to play tennis that we would have known better than to try to destroy them all the time, but nope, in fact the hand abuse doesn't even stop there. There was this game called ABCD, I think it was a Korean game? Alright, let me explain the rules so you guys can play it too if you ever get bored. Basically what you do is gather everyone in a circle and put your hands out like this. And now each one of you is going to take turns shouting out a letter, either A, B, C, or D, while making the corresponding hand signals. The objective is for everyone else to avoid matching that hand signal, otherwise, they get the punishment. Slaps on the hand. For example, if the person called out A, they would get this many slaps. If they called B, they would get this many. And so on. Thankfully, no one ever got seriously injured from playing these games. We just had some red hands here and there, but it was fine. What was weird was that I actually got an injury by doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing. So the team was just gathered around the courts for some pre-practice conditioning when the coach says, "Alright boys, I want everyone to drop down and give me 50 push-ups." As I was doing my push-ups, I started to feel like there was something stuck to my hand, like a sticker. So I tried brushing my hand on my shorts to try to get it off, but I could still feel it. So finally, I looked down at my hand, and the thing that was stuck to it was a piece of skin that was peeling off of my hand, and I was bleeding all over the court. Looking back, my hand probably got blistered from playing Hot Bench, but only started to peel after doing the push-ups, so playing it wasn't the best idea, but who cares? Cause I gotta sit out of practice for 2 weeks. Suckers.